Do, do, do. Where is everyone? Everyone, 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 everyone. Where is everyone, everyone, everyone? Ooh, we're up to 5. 5 people. Good morning, Jana 30. Welcome. I hope you had a wonderful week. I'm glad you could be here this morning. Do, do, do. Waiting for some people to show up. Bluebell, good morning. Kelly P, good morning. Welcome to both of you. I hope you'll have both had a wonderful week. I'm glad you could be here this morning. Karen, good morning. I hope everybody got their notification. I actually got notification 30 minutes before I actually went live. There's a rarity. Stephanie Fisher, good morning. Sarah, good morning. I hope you both had a wonderful week. I'm glad you both could be here this morning. I was saying that, but I finally got notification. I never get notification when I'm going live, but I did today. Got one 30 minutes before, and then I got one that actually said that I was live. So that's a good one. You know, to actually get notification that I'm actually doing this. Maybe they fixed whatever it was that wasn't doing it. Good morning, Connie Kelly. Penny, good morning. I hope you both had a wonderful week. Just woke up to snow. Ooh. I wish we had snow here. We don't have any snow here. This year they're calling it an El Nino, which means that we're going to get a unseasonally dry year. So chances are very, very slim that we'll get any snow. We don't get much snow here, anyways. I live in what's called a semi-desert. We're almost 100%. We have everything that you'd find in a desert, except for cactus, pretty much. Sarah. So Thursday. Thursday, I went in. They drained my knee again. Took out 2 big, huge syringes of fluid out of my knee. And they gave me a pain block in my lower back, so it actually stops so the pain's not as severe. It wears off after about I'd say 12 hours or so, but they're doing as much as they can for right now to try to help. No swearing snow is bad word. Is a bad word. You don't like snow, Sarah? I'm sorry. It's been unusually warm here in New York. You know, my family back in Minnesota and Wisconsin, it's been unseasonably warm there where they are. Normally the turn of fall, it starts to cool down significantly, especially at night. But it's been hovering in the 60s at night, which is not normal at all. Leisha Lou, good morning. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful week. Glad you could be here this morning. Lots of rain and flooding in North Carolina. Yikes. I am in Minnesota. I can't handle it too much. Too much snow, Sarah? Wow. Yeah, I have family everywhere from International Falls all the way down through the Twin Cities. I got a family all over the state of Minnesota. And uncle, nieces, and nephews who live in International Falls, Brainerd, St. Cloud, Bemidji, then going down into the Twin Cities, all over in the Twin Cities area. A lot of family there. Good morning, Gayla. But somebody on the last stream told me to get this cream. It's called Voltaren, Voltaren. I went and got some from the CVS pharmacy here. It didn't do a whole heck of a lot, and I got the extra strength. Bought a whole tube of it, but I guess it works for some people. It's the way that the pharmacist told me. He goes, it's more marketed towards those who have arthritis pain, but it didn't do much for me. But I tried it. Angie Lee, good morning. Good morning, all. I thought yesterday was Saturday. Oh, I've been there, Angie. I've been there. Woke up in a panic. It's like, oh my God, is it Saturday? No, it's only Friday. But I hope you had a wonderful week, Angie. Unseasonably warm in Ohio. I haven't been to Ohio in a while. I used to have a friend who lived in Ohio, but he moved to Wyoming, and then after he moved to Wyoming, he moved to just outside of Anchorage. I have no idea where he's living nowadays. I kind of lost track with him. He's very into self-sufficient living off the grid. He's not like a doomsday or anything like that. He just wants to be, self-sufficient. So he doesn't rely on the electrical grid. He has, solar or water, and he has other ways of getting electricity, and that he needs. I spoke too soon. It started raining. I'm sorry. Tahira, Nora, welcome. Welcome to the stream. I hope you had a wonderful week. I'm glad you could be here this morning. Oh, there's Kevin. Good morning, Kevin. Welcome to the stream, Kevin. I hope you had a wonderful week. Good morning from South Carolina. All right, let's get into the news. Updates on cases that I actually have reported on the last 30 days. So first, we're starting off with good old Brian Laundrie. According to the search and rescue and the sheriff's department and the FBI, well, there was one person was speaking for all the searchers. Conditions are improving, and they're in the Carlton Reserve, where they will, ramp up their actual search efforts for Brian. And what they're talking about when they say conditions are improving, water levels are going down. So, and there's less of a forecast of rain in the near future. So they can go from not islands, but dry parts to other dry parts. And there's a lot of swampy areas and mangroves that make it difficult to get from point A to point B in those areas, so they can search for them. But they said conditions are improving, so they can actually ramp up their actual search efforts. Okay, next one is good old Chad and Lori Daybell Vallow. So they have agreed to relocate the trial for Chad and Lori. Well, Lori's case is on hold, but they're going to do this pretty much the same thing. So what you see happen in Chad's case is most likely going to happen with Lori's as well, once they actually resume her case. But restorative care is where she's at right now, and receiving restorative care. But the DA, Mr. Woods, wants to keep it somewhere nearby and maybe move it a county over or 2 counties over, but make it convenient for him to still be able to prosecute the case, so he doesn't have to travel or, stay someplace for an extended period of time, where Boise would be too far for him to actually travel, back and forth, to still do his job. But Mr. Pryor is like, hey, if we're going to move it, man, let's just go for it. Give to the state and say, you assign it someplace. So they're going back and forth, and they're going to have more off the record, closed door meetings on where and when they're going to present it to the state to actually be relocated. So we'll have to wait and see on what's going to happen there. All right, next one is Betty Counts. She is the elderly lady that I had posted a silver alert, missing senior citizen alert on my community tab. I also shared it on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Yeah, we pretty much shared it everywhere and anywhere we could. But she has been laid to rest, but the family wanted me to pass along to everyone to thank you for those who did additionally share the silver alert for her when she was missing, and they wanted to let everybody know that the authorities and the coroner has determined that there was no foul play in her actual death. So they don't really want to talk about too much about what happened, but there was no foul play in what actually ended up taking her life. All right. So another one that is still an open investigation is the Retha Finkbonner case. She was the bride who went missing in Las Vegas, the indigenous woman who they don't know where she disappeared to. Well, at least the authorities are not saying, and they've asked the family not to make any press announcements, statements on it because it's an open investigation. The police department also kind of hinted that there was possible criminal charges that could be filed in this case at a later date. She will be back in Las Vegas at the end of next week, I think it is, the 23rd, or is that 2 weeks from now? 2 weeks, maybe. But she will be back in Vegas. That's where that case is at. All right. Good morning, Smith Shoes. Mary, good morning. I hope I didn't miss any. Faithful One, good morning. Small Fries, good morning. Welcome all of you to this morning's live stream. I hope you had a wonderful week. All right, next one is Brittany Gosney. She is the mother, if you call it that, of now deceased James Hutchinson. Now, there is a lot of people who are upset at the fact that she got 23 years and that she has the possibility of parole down the road, and that James Hamilton, her fiance, boyfriend, whatever you want to call him, he got 19 years. He hasn't been sentenced yet, but both of them took plea agreements. And part of their actual plea agreement is that they be eligible for parole. So this is going to sound odd, but it's also going to upset a lot of people. Is Brittany Gosney's next court date? She will not be there in person, but her attorney will be there on her behalf, is for child custody of the 2 children that she didn't kill. And you would think, well, why didn't they just take her parental rights away? Because she actually has the possibility of parole, they did not strip her of parental rights. Understand that. Because she has the eligibility of parole, they did not strip her of her parental rights and the other for her James's brother and sister. So they have a permanent they have a court date that's going to go over the parental rights, a permanent parental agreement that her attorney will be there in person to actually look over and decide if it's going to meet with her and what her desires are. Yes, you'd think that she would have lost her parental rights, but she didn't. So that's where we're at on the cases that I've covered in the last 30 days. Besides Aiden Fucci, which I haven't really covered on. I mean, I've shot some video footage for it, but I haven't actually covered it all that much. It should be, though. I don't really have anything to go. They should take her rights away. Yeah. Oh, let's see here. Hey, Will, hugs to you and your family. Thank you, Mary. Appreciate it. I caught you live. I'm here drinking coffee with massive bedhead. Well, good morning, small fries. I'm glad you could be here this morning. Faithful one. Pretty sure I said, oh, I don't know what the heck I did there. Mike Stevens, good morning. Conduct Craw, everyone. Molly, good morning. Good morning to you and Mike. I hope you both had a wonderful week. Brittany is an awful person. Wow, I watched her interrogation. She motionless when she talked about killing her son. Yeah. Yeah, she is a real piece of work. You would think slaughtering one of your kids would automatically remove her parental rights. You would think so. Yeah, or you'd at least hope so. You'd hope that they would take her parental rights away. But because of the plea agreement, they could have stipulated in a plea agreement that she, give up her parental rights to the two children. But if she is eligible for parole, she would be eligible for parole in 16 and a half to 17 and a half years. Right in there, she would be eligible for parole. She could actually work off and get more good time. And if she does, then she could be released right in that area, or sooner. And the children would be adults by then. And so basically, she's going to be in jail until they're no longer juveniles. They will be adults by the time she actually gets released. Good morning, Ricard. I just saw it go by. Where'd it go? There it is. Always the top of the page. Elaine, good morning. From Mountain Lake, Missouri. I never allow her to near children. Yeah, she's not going to be a when it comes to a parent. She's going to have communication with them. Even if they stripped her of her parental rights, she would still be eligible to contact them. Or they could contact her unless they decided to stop all of that altogether. Okay. So now I want to show you guys some packages and things that I got from subscribers, viewers of my channel. The first one I got from Amazon. It does not have a letter or anything in it, so I have no idea who it's from. It was addressed to 411 now, and then it came to my PO box. But it's just Amazon and the warehouse for Amazon. But inside here, bubbles for my son, and the slip from Amazon where you could leave a note is blank. So it does not say who it's actually from. And then I got this thing, which I'm not entirely sure what it is. So I'm gonna open it up and show you guys what it is. I tried to find something on Amazon that said what it was. So chopsticks. There's a whole bunch of these different. They're like mesh. a little tiny bowl, and it says turn over and win $500 Amazon gift card. Mr. Kitchenware. It's the only thing it says. But I don't know what this is. Does anybody know what this is? Here, I'll show you what one of them are. It's almost transparent, but it's like a cloth. And obviously there's, two chopsticks. They're pretty heavy. Weighted like chopstick. But I tried to find something on Amazon of what these actually are. This is ceramic, little bowl. But I don't know what it is. It could be something for your knee. Well, I don't think it should be something for my knee, Connie. It comes with chopsticks and a little bowl. Ooh. But the bubbles in they're in a bubble wand. I opened these ones up yesterday with my son. Bubbles. My son's going to really enjoy those. All right. Next one. A big white manila envelope. This was actually folded like this. You can see the tape stuff on here. This one comes with a letter and a big bag of candies. A pretty good sized letter too. The letter says, hello, Will. On your past live stream, you mentioned that you and your wife were beekeepers. That's great to hear. Not many people think about the importance of bees in our food production. Myself and my sister and other fellow friends here in California have been beekeepers for years. I'm sending along a sample of 100% organic bee honey sweetened candies. 2 flavors. The first one is a mild root beer, and the other one is a lemon drop. We do not manufacture these. We sell the honey through our co-op. The manufacturer is in Medford, Oregon, in the name of the company. She says, please do not mention my full name or the name of the company. She said, you can say hello to me on, or thank me on your next live stream, or if you want. She goes by the name of Honey Queen 901, all one word. Please keep up the excellent content you provide all your viewers. Remember, ones that dislike you are only jealous of you and the close-knit community you have grown to this point and will expand in the future. Can't wait for you to hit the 1 million subscriber count. Don't look short at the 100,000 mark. You're worth a lot more than that to us. If we have to, we'll start knocking on doors and make people subscribe for you to your content. LOL. And then it's actually signed by the person itself, for the lady. But these are organic root beer and honey drop candies that they sell their honey to another manufacturer and they make them. But the first one, I can't thank whoever it is because it doesn't have anything on the note. It says who, what the actual item is, or, well, the packing slip just says it has a product ID number, but it doesn't say who it's from. But thank you to whoever. I really do appreciate it. And the candies to Honey Queen 901. Thank you very much. I had my wife tried a couple of the root beer ones, and she really enjoyed them. They're not overly sweet or really strong on the root beer flavor, but it's kind of a mild candy. But thank you very much. Sushi mat and soy dish. See, that's what we were kind of thinking too, Sketty Nana. Julie Ward. Good morning. I've missed the morning chats with my hangover. Oh, it appears that I had a super chat I missed. I'm sorry. I'm scrolling up here. Julie Wade, not Ward. Wade. Good. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it. A super sticker. Well, thank you very much. Rolling sushi rolls. Yeah. So the slip just says there are three products in the bag: the bubbles and the product number for the other item, which doesn't. It has a business card in there, but is 91224. I have no idea what that is, but we'll figure it out. I mean, I appreciate it anyways. At least, if nothing else, man, those are some really nice, heavily weighted chopsticks. We'll find some use for it. I appreciate and before I forget, I did get another letter from another subscriber that we've sent things back and forth to each other from Richard. In case he sees this later on, Richard, I did receive your letter and your the items that you sent in along with the letter. Thank you very much. I won't get into too much of what we talk about, but I appreciate it, Richard. I hope that you and Leslie are doing well. I'm glad that that it was a pleasant surprise for you to find that box, out when you went out to get your mail. To tell you the truth about that was I forgot. After I mailed that package off to you, Richard, in case he's going to see this later on, but I mailed off the package and I lost the slip, so I couldn't track the actual tracking on it. Well, thank you for the super chat, Mary. Appreciate it. Please put the next fundraiser up on that for the next for autism. I will definitely put it up on next videos. Mary, I decided that along with my wife, we decided that we didn't want to put that fundraiser up on certain types of content because people were getting the wrong idea of what the actual fundraiser was for. So we're being a little bit more selective, which is say to what we're putting it up on. But it will be up on the next video, and I do plan on running it for the rest of this year. My son gave me honey sticks that told me they have CBD in them. Well, I guess that would work. We buy those at the little honey sticks. They're like a straw with the actual flavored honey inside of them. We buy those at our local co-op. They're pretty good. The ones I like are it's clover honey, and all you do is just pop the thing open and you can mix it in with your tea. Really good, but they're made by a guy that lives here locally, so that it's like honey that'll actually help you, especially with the hay fever and allergies. Does CBD get you high? No. At least it shouldn't if it's manufactured correctly, Mike. The CBD oils, it works great for a lot of different things. Pain relief. There are people who take it for insomnia. CBD oil. It's been clinically proven to help relieve and stop the symptoms of certain types of epilepsy. My wife used it when she was going through chemotherapy because the chemotherapy, basically you're poisoning the patient trying to kill the cancer before you kill the patient. But if you've ever met, or been around somebody who's gone through chemotherapy, it's extraordinarily hard on the body and you lose the ability to eat. Everything tastes disgusting, when you're going through it. But it helped my wife be able to eat. So that's what he gave me. He got them at the CBD shop here. Well, you're in good old California. Here you can get the CBD honey sticks. Gala, you can get them. Well, you can't get them at 7-Eleven. They don't sell them there, but they do sell them at some convenience stores. Most of the dispensaries have them. I know you can get them in the gift shop at our local hospital. You can buy flowers CBD, soap, and other knickknacks, there. It's everywhere. I saw that. Oh my God. I could not stop crying. If you buy local honey, it'll help with your allergies. Yes, Colleen, it definitely does. Definitely does. That's why I use it during, especially I have a hay fever, and I'm also allergic to I have like seasonal allergies, but it's actually two types of trees that are in my area. The one's called a Russian olive. It's just a giant pain in the ass tree, and it's not indigenous to this area. And they've spent the last like 20 years trying to eradicate it from parks, and it just anywhere they can find the tree. They've been trying to eradicate it because it actually is not beneficial to just about anything. You can't burn the wood of a Russian olive. You can't use the wood for anything. But the tree is it's just a pain in the ass. It gives a lot of people issues, especially if they have allergies. The other one is called box. What do you call it? Box something? We have another name for it. I have to try to remember what the actual real name of the tree is. Box something. I can't remember the name of it. Well, we call it the thorn tree, but it's not its real name. It's not the real name for the tree. It's not the thorn tree, but we've always just called it the thorn tree because it actually produces these little balls that they're about the size of a dime, and when they hit the ground, they open up. They have a hard thorn inside of them. Julie Wade, gosh, cancer is nasty. It is. I have to Google Tylee Ryan. Why do you need to Google Tylee Ryan? What are caramel animals? I don't know. I won't eat the honey sticks because of the CBD. The CBD help with anxiety. Yeah, well, it helps a lot of people with anxiety, Connie. It most definitely does. But Tylee Ryan, you have to Google Tylee Ryan. That's JJ and Tylee, the two children of Lori Vallow, who were murdered and found buried on Chad Daybell's property. Tylee was dismembered and then burned in a fire pit. Incidentally, the same fire pit that he was burning wood and branches in, that he says he didn't know that Tylee was in. And he doesn't know how she got there on his property. And anybody who actually believes that, like his children, who think he's innocent, are just crazy. I don't know how to explain that. She wasn't buried underneath the fire pit. Her remains were found within the top 6 inches, which means that she was in the fire and her remains were just underneath the top ash layer. And he supposedly didn't know that her dismembered body was in the fire. Okay, Chad. I can't believe that his kids actually believe him. That's BS. His job was what again? Chad? Did you know Tylee slept with the bat to feel safe? No, I did not know that, Mike, but I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. I just watched the Arizona state of Arizona just released the video of interview with Lori, Tylee, and the one with Alex Cox, her brother. They just released those interrogation interviews videos, but I just watched the one on Lori. I have the other 3 saved. I just haven't had a chance to do it yet, to watch the other one. I'm going to later on today, though. Hogwort is a huge brush that sap gets on you. It's earned blisters. I pay $400 for a tree guy. come dig it up. They have to wear hazmat suits. And I don't think we have any hogwort trees around here or bushes, but I can't remember the name of that stupid tree. I know if I went inside the house and I asked my wife, she'd know exactly what the tree is called. We people just call it by different things, I guess locally, but it's a pain in the ass. But when it first blooms, it has a little tiny white flower on it, and then the flower petals fall off, and then it forms that hard little ball, and there's a thorn inside of the actual ball. I don't want to say. When I was a little kid, we used to take these little balls and throw them at each other, because when they first fall off the tree, they're actually, you throw them at something or someone, they hit and then they explode, kind of like a dandelion, when a dandelion comes apart. So, but they have kind of a little bit of hard outer, a crust on them. But we used to throw them at each other. But little did we know, every one of those little things is what actually disperses, the seedling for another one. Well, thank you again for the purchase of the super sticker, Julie Wade. Appreciate it. With nuts on them. You watched all the interviews. Good morning, Pippadot. I'm going to tell you guys the best caramel apple in the world is that Rocky Mountain Chocolate Company makes them. But Google the recipe online. It's the apple pie caramel apple. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds really good. I'm not much one for sweets though, like desserts. I'll have like a piece of pie or cake or something, maybe once or twice a year. It's just never been my thing. My mother-in-law makes me it's a pecan. She makes me a pecan pie every year at Christmas time, or an apple pie. I like apple pie. But her apple pie isn't anything like you get anywhere else. Good morning, E and A Mom. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you could be here with us this morning. Where were the kids when she was buying JJ? When she was burying JJ and Tylee? Where were they? Where were the kids when she was burying JJ and Tylee? Well, they were the kids that they. See, they were supposed to be coming back from Yellowstone National Park, and it still had, at least I haven't found confirmation. Did Alex Cox come back from the Yellowstone National Park with Tylee, and with the express reason it was to kill her? If he did, and they could prove it, that would be they could charge Lori and Chad with murder for hire, because it would be a federal crime because it came across state borders. It would be international, not international, but cross border. I'm missing the word here though. But anyways, it'd be murder for hire. It'd be following, it's a federal statute. Then if they could prove that they came from the Yellowstone National Park, when Alex's reason to come back with Tylee was to kill her. Good morning, Francie. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you had a wonderful week. I love real fresh key lime pie. Ooh, key lime pie is good. I haven't had a good key lime pie in a long time. I don't know if they have them anywhere near you, but we used to have a place here that was called Cyrus O'Leary's pies, and they make some really good pie, especially key lime pie. Most of the key lime pies that I've tried though over the years, yeah, and they're not all that great. Oh, where were Chad's kids? That's a good question. I know at the time, I think his daughter and her husband resided in the family home along with Tammy, but I'm not 100% sure where all the rest of them were. But they all lived in and around that area. Good morning, Tina. Tina from Maine. I hope you had a wonderful week, Tina. Thank you for stopping in this morning to the live stream. We can't get key lime anymore. My husband makes and bakes in oven kind, heavenly. Most of the restaurants buy most of the restraint buy from Cyrus O'Leary Pies restaurants. Yeah, but we used to actually have a Cyrus O'Leary actual like store here. But I can't even find Cyrus O'Leary pies anywhere anymore. But they used to have just awesome pies. We used to go pick up. They had one that was like a triple Dutch chocolate. Oh, it was so good, so rich though. My allergies are going cray. Oh, I'm sorry. Good morning, Starfire. Love any pie, by the way, even pot pies. I love pot pies too. The one I didn't think I was going to like it, but they actually have a really good pot pie that is from KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. They make a really good chicken pot pie. Ragweed? Ragweed sucks. Not to Monday morning quarterback, but I don't agree with the Chandler police handled Alex while questioning him outside after shooting Charles. Well, Gayla, that's two of us. I think they really glossed over it and didn't pursue because if they would have done just a cursory investigation there on the spot, when he said that he hit him in the back of the head with a baseball bat, and there was no obvious sign of injury to the back of his head, he didn't require medical aid. And then when they went inside to look at Charles, the detectives could have easily seen. You said you shot him once. Well, there are two bullet holes in this man. And the second one was a through and through and ricocheted off the floor behind him. So he had to be laying on the ground on the floor when you shot him. How was he not charged and arrested right then and there? I've never understood that, Gayla. Not at all. You can shoot someone to stop them from attacking you. Great. But once that person is down on the ground, you neutralize the actual threat. Why would they not arrest him for him shooting Charles while he's on the floor? Could have walked away. But now they're trying to make Charles look like the bad guy. Oh yeah. Well, they definitely did. They're gonna and when the trial starts for Lori and for Chad, they're gonna drag the Chad and everybody else through the mud, and you can bet that they're gonna look right at Alex Cox since he's dead, and they're gonna go, it was him. He did it all on his own. They're gonna blame him. I'm so happy. Happy birthday to your daughter too. Is it your daughter's birthday, Brenda? What's your daughter's name? Debbie Gilligan. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good evening. Good. I hope you had a terrific week, Debbie. They didn't even search Alex. Safety always comes first. Yeah, right. That man, you should have seen when I showed that video of when the police first arrived on the scene and nobody patted down Alex. They don't know who he is. How do they know he didn't have a gun on him and he wasn't going to turn on the officers, as soon as their backs were turned? Yep. I showed that to my friend. Well, it's my birthday and your daughter's birthday. It's on the 12th. It's your birthday today, Brenda? Well, everybody, let's sing Brenda a happy birthday. All right. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brenda. Happy birthday to you. He was calm to be self-defense. Yeah, right. A cursory search, just a quick pat down. Yeah, but I was going to say I showed that video of the body cam footage to my friend who's an active law enforcement officer in town over from mine, and he's like, "Why did they do that?" That is the first thing you learn. Like you never turn your back on somebody, even if they're the victim. Pat them down, yeah, ask them for identification, anything. They didn't do any of that when they first got to him. They're like, "Oh yeah, we'll just take your word for it." Oh, well, you just committed homicide. Yeah, we'll take your word for it. It was self-defense. Well, on the 12th it's my birthday and Brenda's daughter. Yeah, ridiculous actions by the police. Gayless says happy birthday. Got a party hat, a balloon, a chocolate cake. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. Relax. Take it easy. Connor Kelly says happy birthday too. Yeah, you see videos like that, like that chest cam video. Really makes you wonder, what the hell were they thinking? That's how people get caught, killed in the line of duty, is doing stupid things like that, not following procedures. Gosh, this got mixed up, this birthday mess. When they interviewed Lori and Tylee makes a comment, "Mom will get padded room," was a red flag. Yeah, I haven't watched all three of them yet. I only watched the Lori Vallow one. I have all three of them saved on my computer though. Well, when's your birthday? It's okay if you don't want to say. No, Francine, my birthday is June 19th. June 19th. I am a Gemini. My birthday is the 12th, too, of January. Well, Connie Kelly, well, happy birthday to you on the 12th. I hope you have a joyful and relaxing day. I was just reading an article about the massive amount of law enforcement officers who've walked off the job in the last year, and they took the numbers come from some of the largest police departments in the United States. It's scary, just how many of them have just decided that they just don't want to be in law enforcement anymore, and at the same time, violent crime rate are going up, and officers on the job are less and less. June 19th is a federal holiday now. Is it? Tina Hansen, your birthday's the 26th of June. I think Light Feather's birthday is either the 18th or 20th. Her birthday's it's like right around mine for some reason. I have that in my head. I could be wrong, and maybe it wasn't even Light Feather, but I'm pretty sure it was. Chet is over the place, and Will seems like, I know it's sad, so sad that law enforcement, where's their protection? Yeah, well, they just don't feel like it's worth it anymore to a lot of officers. They don't feel it's worth it anymore to put their lives, and their bodies and everything else on the line to protect, the citizens where they're from or where they work. And when nobody cares about them anymore, at least a lot of them feel that way by exit polls of people, that the police departments said. And there've been a massive amount of, also on top of it, early retirements, and officers who just like, no, you know what? It wasn't the best of jobs anyways, but now I certainly don't want to do it. My father-in-law told me last night over 50,000 officers were wounded this year. Really? 50,000? That's a lot. Sketty Nona, my daughter will be 30 at the end of the month. Well, happy birthday to your daughter, Sketty Nona. Starfire, mine was September 3rd. Now I'm in the over 55 club. We're only as old as, it's just a number. Keep your mind mentally young. Learn something new every day. Read. Keep active. The officers don't have government backup. Sketty Nona, I'm 55. Small fries. Your birthday was September 23rd. Well, happy birthday. I hope you had a wonderful birthday. Small fries. Every what, 4 years, I think it is, my birthday falls on Father's Day. I think it's like every 4 years. My birthday, Father's Day and my birthday fall on the same day. Julie Wade, you're 87 years young. My friend Jack is 93. And he golfs with me twice a week. 93, and he's out there still playing every single chance he can get. Well, I mean, obviously, I'm not golfing right now. I mean, but when I was, I'm not able to right now. This Wednesday, you'll be 55. It goes by so quick. Okay, no, mine falls on Mother's Day some years. Yeah. Stephanie Fisher says, I'm 27. I was born in 1968. Math, me. Who cares? My mother-in-law is that way, Sarah. When people ask her age, she always looks at them and says, well, I was 18 when Crystal was born, and she's 18, past 18 now, so 18. I'm 36. And then she doesn't answer the question. But I know how old she is, but but she never answers the question on what her age is. She goes, it's just a number, an arbitrary number that they just give you. And I'm like, I don't think it's an arbitrary number. She goes, it's an arbitrary number. And I'm like, okay, it's an arbitrary number. I'm not going to argue with her over it. She can be as old as she wants to be. A Thanksgiving birthday. I hate to break it to you, but you'll be 55 Tuesday, Mike. Chad and Lori felt like they had to get rid of anyone in their way. Lori doesn't even care that her 2 children are gone. It definitely seems that way. You are right, Connie Kelly. They definitely got rid of anybody that that stood in their way. I just wonder, where would the body count have been if the authorities weren't alerted to Tylee and JJ missing by the grandparents? If that wouldn't have happened, and they would have believed the story that that JJ was off, with Melanie, or whoever else they wanted to say, who would have looked into the case, and how many more bodies would there be out there right now if it wasn't for the grandparents saying, no, we want to talk to JJ and we want to talk to him now? That wouldn't have happened. I mean, would it be, unconceivable there would have been 10 more, people killed? Because he had an entire notebook filled full of names of people who were dark spirits and people who he already predetermined were zombies and that were in their way of getting to the next, enlightenment. So would they have killed all those people in the notebook? Would they have, would Alex have been the, the henchman to make sure they all got, taken care of? Zuma or Melanie was next. I think we're going to really be surprised, Small Fries, when it comes to Zulma, and just how involved she was in it. If you read some of the text messages between Lori and her, it paints a pretty dark picture of just how involved she was in especially in the death and murder of Alex. Not Alex, but Charles. I think she was a lot more involved than anybody really realizes at this point. And when it comes out in the case, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot more damaging than she's going to want. And she's done a pretty good job of keeping a low profile up to this point, but don't think she's going to be able to keep that up. That sounds like a Chris Watts case with the dark spirits. Yeah. All the black souls. When the kids first disappeared, I hate to say it, but I really was hoping that Lori had married Tylee off to some pervert, cult leader. I was really hoping that was what happened, and that they did that, and then they sent JJ off with her in her new life as a child bride. That was so devastating to find out, that they were dead, and then to find out that Tylee was dismembered and burned in the fire pit. And 12 feet away laid her brother, and it wrapped up in plastic and tape underneath a sheet of plywood in a shallow grave. How do you do that? How do you harm a child? I'll never understand that. What the hell could a child have ever done to anyone, that would, call for something like that to ever happen to them? And as a parent for Lori, how do you get to the point where you actually believe somebody else and say, yeah, your child is, evil. They need to be taken out. How do you get to that point? But yeah, okay, yeah, I believe you. I'll never understand it. Good morning, Interpeers. I think I might have missed some people. Ganona. Thank you. I will try and say something funny. A, B, C, D, or E. Sunday's trivia is all music. All music again. Good morning, Short Nice. I hope you had a wonderful week. Thank you for stopping in this morning. Hoping someone gets hated Dawn enough to take Summer believing they were saving her and some were alive. I hope so too. But the longer it goes without finding Summer Wells, the less likelihood is that she is alive, though. That's just a statistical number that you have to keep an eye on. You know, I'm sure that maybe she is alive somewhere, but the longer it goes, the more likelihood is that she isn't. Hi, Lucy. I like putting my PJs in the dryer. LOL. It could happen, Pippa Dot. We could find her. I mean, we found Elizabeth Smart, and there have been other cases where children, were taken, they vanished, and people had given up on them. Jamie, Kloss in Wisconsin, they pretty much had, they stopped searching for her. They stopped looking for her, except for in their local area. And they kept on it. They opened up the tip lines, and none of the tips were leading to anything. Nobody thought that Jamie Kloss was still alive. And I'm sorry to say, a lot of people in her own community had gotten to the point where they were thinking about putting up memorials for Jamie Kloss. And then she got out of that house and she ran down that street and found a neighbor, who just happened to be out walking her dog. And look at Jamie now. How long was she gone? There's hope. As long as there's hope, that's the one thing that they tell the family and friends: don't give up hope. JC Dugard, another one. Yeah. Love the music trivia. If you've ever been to my Sunday night trivia, you're gonna really enjoy where it's going come November. We've been working on making the trivia a lot more interactive and a lot easier to read the actual questions and the possible answers. So stick tuned to in November. It's going to get a lot better, and that's not just the music, but it's the entire trivia process is going to get better. You pray for little Summer. You have to, but Don wants boys to get unclaimed reward if they can. Mix up trivia. I think that the two things in that case that really need to happen. One, somebody needs to tell Don and drive it home to Don, as you need to stop. Stop doing interviews. Stop talking with the public completely. You're not a good spokesman. And I know it's hard. I mean, his daughter's missing. But he just needs to stop talking to the media because he's not doing himself any favors at all. And everything he says, it just fuels that rage out there in speculation where people are like, he did it. That it was Don Wells. Don Wells did it. He made her disappear. Rumors. Gosh, that's the one thing I've always hated about being in this niche. I guess you could call it of true crime. A lot of channels that call themselves true crime channels are not. They have nothing. The word true is nowhere in their vocabulary. They make up everything that they talk about. And people believe it. Then you have to spend the next year trying to convince them why it wasn't true and why they believe what they believed. No. It hurts. Those trivias are great. You put a lot of work into them. And Rupal, good morning and welcome to the live stream, Rupal. I hope you had a terrific week. I saw your post on the Facebook group this morning, or was it late last night? I can't remember, but I saw it though. We love your trivia. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoy it. Robin, good morning. I hope you had a wonderful week, Robin. A teenage girl followed me around Target not long ago, staring at me, freaked me out. When I finally asked if I could help her, she stared at me wide-eyed and asked if I was JC Dugard. Oh, wow. Guys, it's my birthday today. Rupal. Well, everyone, today is Rupal's birthday. Let's sing her happy birthday. Wish Rupal a happy birthday. So, 3, 2, 1. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rupal. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Rupal. I hope you enjoyed your day today. Should have given an autograph. Ooh, look at all the little emojis that Spaghetti Nona's got up there. Heart, some cake, slice of pie or something. You can't see what the other one is. Look, I even brought my glasses today. So I can actually see them. I don't know what that one is. That round, a cupcake, a couple more hearts. That's cool. I added another emoji to the channel membership. It's I think it was a person. I have to work on those. So some of those emojis don't want to upload correctly. Like the other day, I tried to upload one for the channel members, the sticker, and it was supposed to be of a police officer man with cool sunglasses on, but when I uploaded it, it was so distorted it didn't even look right. So I have to change the file format, I think, and then upload it. Hopefully, I'll get that done this weekend. Stardust, Will and Chad, good morning. Well, welcome to the stream, Stardust. I hope you had a wonderful week. I'm glad you could be here with us this morning. You should get A. Should get an A. Best emojis. I'm working on them though. The ones for channel members, the badges and the emojis. I got a whole bunch of them that are saved on my computer. It's just trying to find the time to go through because it's such a tedious process the way that YouTube has it set up. Why can't I just upload 10 of them at once? You have to do one. You have to name it, you have to upload it, and then you have to see if it's proved it's the right aspect ratio. And it's just so much work. And then when it wouldn't be that bad if it was just one or two. But when you're doing 15 of them and you have to, or 20 of them, and you're doing it one at a time over and over and over again, it's just like, come on. And then after you get done with the entire thing, and then you click, save, it always highlights one in red and says, well, the aspect ratio on this one is wrong, or even though it was approved earlier, it was okay. So then you have to go back and delete that one, and it's just a mess. But I'm working on it though. Julie Wade, thank you for the super. I think it's a super sticker. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't say, or a super chat. Either way, Julie, thank you very much, and Rupal, thank you as well. Anyone remember Boyton Hippo Birdie? Ooh, I'm gonna go with the no for me on that one. You're very thoughtful, and I appreciate that. I have to say, I'm completely crushed that there is absolutely no help available. It's just the perfect storm, unfortunately. They have a new, but the reason why I was talking about that, because I'm not sure about those two individually, but I appreciate them both. Is YouTube has a new one coming out that's called Super. It's in the beta program. They're testing. It's like Super Support or something like that. They've changed the name like 3 times since they initially started talking about it in their blog. But you can now actually do super sticker and super chat, things like that, give money to creators, but on videos that have actually launched. I don't know how they're going to promote that, but it's in the trial stage. Robin, will you be staying where you are? Yeah, Robin. Any update on your living situation? Julie Wade, your missing brother? My brother? Don't know where my brother is. He's been gone for an awfully long time. For the next 18 days, I will. Yes. Francie asks, Will, do you have any pets? Well, I have one cat. His name is Bogey. Francie, that is the only pet that I have left. This past year, I lost 4 dogs and I lost a cat. That is, this is my best friend. This is my dog. This is Lucky. Underneath the gnome here. I don't know if that's going to show up on the, but that's his doggy paw print. Well, memorial to the guy. He was my friend. He was always here for me. But I'm not getting any more pets. At least I don't want any more pets. My wife feeds. Well, I think there's like 10 cats in the neighborhood. My wife feeds, but murdered brother. Well, have you recovered fully from the CBD COVID? I had it too, and okay now, but plus my 2 vaccinations. I got the 2 vaccinations after the COVID, but they were not too long ago. I actually got them, but I don't have any long-term side effects from it, Rupal, from the COVID, but it was a really touch and go there. First off, it doesn't help that I'm a smoker, so getting any kind of lung infection or some kind of respiratory issue on top of being a smoker, not a good thing, not a good thing at all. But I don't have any long-term side effects from it. But I have not gotten the booster. I may get it, may not. I'm still waiting on what my family decides what they're going to do. If they get it, I'll get the booster. But Bogey. Yeah, as in golfing. I named him Bogey. A friend of our family actually caught him in a tree. He was just a kitten. And we took him down and had him. They wanted him to see if he had a microchip in him, and there was no microchip. Nobody put up any wanted posters or missing cat notices online or in the neighborhood. So I adopted him, and he comes by in the morning. I come out here about 4 o'clock in the morning. He'll come out here and sleep in the chair next to me, and I give him a little the Sheba. Like soft foods, one of those little things you can snap it apart. My 6.5 Shih Tzu is listening to you doing the happy dance. I think she thinks it's my bestie's husband. I'm doing the best I can, Rupo. Trying. Will, what do you think about the DA wanting Barry Morphew back in custody? I don't think Barry should have ever been released. I was really surprised they gave him bail. And did you see how quickly his daughter came and bailed his butt out? Yeah, of course and why such a low amount? He could have easily bailed out with just the money he had from his construction, job. The money he had in that account alone would have bailed him out. That's not much of a deterrent. Your wife has been missing, and we're presumed dead at this point. We're getting $500,000 cash. Really? Wow. Yeah, put him back in jail. May God forgive you, William, for lying. What? Who's lying, Julie? Why do these criminals' kids so brainwashed? I'm more interested in who's lying. His monitor wasn't ever working. Yeah. Why are these criminal kids so brainwashed? I don't know. That's a good question. But if you think about the dynamic of what people tell your children, your spouse, and stuff like that, maybe that they're the closest confidence to you, or at least they should be. If you tell them that the sky is green, and it's blue, or you tell the sky is red and it's blue, they might believe you. Shocked they were having trouble tracking him. I wasn't shocked that they were having trouble tracking him. It's just the area where he lives. I mean, that's the part that really was kind of confusing. It's like, are you really going to use that as evidence, the GPS data? I mean, even a layman could understand there's no way Barry was moving at a rate of 75 miles an hour inside of his own home, chasing her around, according to their theory. You could tell. Well, you know what? The GPS data is wrong. Yeah, I don't know what I could possibly have lied about. But oh well. I remember Cosmina Von Burlow, loyalty to her wealthy father who had murdered her mother. Oh, that's going back a ways, Francie. Tell me I can unblock. Is there somebody blocked? I don't see anything on my end. She thinks you lied about your brother. How did I lie about my brother? Good morning, RRH. How are you doing? I hope you had a terrific week. Welcome to the stream. My brother vanished in early 70s. We have no idea where my brother is, and I've never said anything about my brother contrary than that. That's how I got into this. That was a big cursor to how I got into reporting on true crime, because I had built up an entire Rolodex of contacts across the United States as me and my sisters had searched for them. That's the truth. If you don't like it, I don't care. There's nothing to lie about there. Good morning, V. Happy Saturday, 411ers. I don't know why she would think my brother is murdered. I never said anything even remotely like that, Mike. Don't have a clue. Why would anyone think that you're lying? That's ridiculous. I don't know, Deb. I don't know why she thinks that I ever said that my brother was murdered. I've had a close friend that was murdered. The close friend of mine and my wife's was murdered. The gentleman who actually committed that murder is out of prison. He served his time, and that was kind of like the cursor of how I got into YouTube. Was me and a friend of mine wanted to go to the parole board hearing and and give them our victims impact statement on how that affected our lives. And I couldn't find anything on the internet that was true about the actual crime. And we went through the entire case. So I decided to make a video telling the truth about what happened in the case. Nobody watched it. Nobody cared about the truth. To a large extent, that's pretty much the same thing today. The truth doesn't sell. Why don't you think kids support the murdered parents due to the parents' money? Well, I think, Francie, I think that the money plays into it to an extent. Emotional support as well plays into it. Status symbol, for maybe the parents have a certain standard and they're connected, through not only monetary, money, but also status, as in, mom and dad, they may have committed, or dad may have committed a murder, and they're, country club, kind of people. There's a lot of things that play into it why people believe, but then again, at the same time, you may know dad killed that person, but you're not going to publicly tell people that they did it, or he did it. You keep your mouth shut. You just kind of like, what? I'm just not gonna, turn my back around dad, because dad might kill me. I'm not sure if y'all have noticed, but people in 2021 tend to be maladjusted and a bit scary. I've noticed that, Robin, but I think that's just a society as a whole is getting that way. I'm sad, but it's true. We're going to see a huge here within the next. You can put this on your calendar right now. Here within the next year or so, we're going to see a spike, obviously, in violent crime. We're going to see more murder suicides, where one spouse kills the other one and then commits suicide, and we're going to see a spike in alarming trends of where somebody has gone out or has tried to kill multiple people. It's going to happen because mental health services in America, as long as it's as lacking as it is, and I'm talking about real mental health. not this, pseudo mental health, services that people, are pushing forward now. Real mental health help. It's going to get worse. The lights run from $65 to $400. The info can be confusing on the strength, type, and number of lights. I have no idea what that's about. Yeah, your dad killed your mom, and then you forfeit the inheritance by turning against dad. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, there's a lot of people out there that wouldn't do it. Joe Biden builds back better. Mental health is bigger pandemic than the COVID. Yeah, that's true, V. Until we really, start to look at mental health in America and really not just put money into it, because you can throw money at everything, and then there's a huge amount of abuse. But you have to put some real time and real things in place to set up mental health. If they were to actually do that, you would see the incarceration rates drop. You also see violent crime and other petty crimes drop, and across the board. If we took care of and we really gave a damn about our fellow human who walks amongst us in our communities. I live in an area where there are, well, let's just say that there's 6 towns. You can't tell one from the other, because there's no real border from one town to another. But there are well over 200,000 people. You take all the surrounding communities, you add them all there, 200,000 people. We have no inpatient beds at all for mental health. Zero. They save somebody from trying to self-harm themselves. They send them out of the community to another hospital. We have the counseling that they have here. So much is religious based counseling. It's not even funny. And if you're agnostic, or an atheist, or if you are of some other, religious, denomination other than Christian, they don't have it here. It's Christian-based counseling everywhere, and it sucks. People can't get the help that they need, so they have to drive 3 hours to find something else. Who's going to drive 3 hours? They're just going to continually go nuts, get worse and worse and worse. Excuse me. All the restaurants around here are struggling because can't get enough workers. Tell you something, kind of along that lines, Francie. So I have a really good friend of mine and my wife's who owns a local restaurant. He has, it's a small, kind of like mom and pop restaurant. He only has 15 employees. And of those 15 employees, he has never had an issue with anyone not wanting to work for him or coming, pissing off the job. All right. Saying, well, I don't care about the job anymore. I'll just go work this place instead. A lot of his employees, they work there. Maybe they're in college. And that's the only time they ever leave is when they finish college and they've moved on to another, career altogether. He treats his employees with respect, and he pays them well. Has never had a problem. He has stacks full of applications for the job, and it keeps on coming out here in the newspaper that all these restaurants are, kind of like you're saying, have issues. I'll pivot. I'll get to her question in just a minute. But they have problems, filling the positions, so the restaurants are hurting. And you look at what they're paying versus the place down the street. It's like, wow. I mean, yeah, maybe you can only afford to pay, minimum wage for that position, plus tips. You go down the street, you can make, $4 more an hour, working something else. And people don't want to be treated as a number. They want to work someplace where they can make a living, and survive. but they also want to be, valued. So, all right. Julie, is your brother missing or not, William? Yes, Julie. My brother has been missing since, I believe, 1974-ish, right in there, early to mid 1970s. I wish I had. I have a box. I don't know if it's here. It might be inside the house. I have a series of letters, the last letters he wrote to my mother. My father basically told him to go away because he joined what he called a cult. My father was a Roman Catholic, and very, religious. Well, a cult to my father was anything other than Catholic or Roman Catholic. He really didn't. Maybe my brother became a Mormon. I don't know. But my father pretty much said, go away. To answer your question, still didn't lie about it. Anything about my brother, I don't know why you would think that I would. I'm an open book. This is me. And for anybody who really doesn't understand that, I really do feel sorry for you. Because I don't have anything to lie about. I don't have time for it in my life. We all get a finite amount of time on this earth. And it could all be gone in a second. And just think, if you were here today and you built yourself up to be something you weren't, and you told people something, what are they going to say about you after you're gone? Me, I hope people, realize that, the truth was more important to me than anything. Because it is. It's always been that way. Well, I'd be interested to find your brother. We spent a lot of years, Rupal, searching for him. We have no idea where he is. I mean, he vanished. His social security number was never used. His identification, no tax records, no death records. There's nothing. We have searched everywhere for him across the United States, Canada, Alaska. It's kind of hard to track people in certain countries like Mexico. It's hard to track people. But we searched, maybe we're like, okay, maybe he was, dodging the draft. You take these rabbit holes and you go down them, and we never were able to find him. And we know he existed. I have like kind of a little bit of a memory of him because I was just a little kid when he vanished. But I have letters from him, birthday cards that he sent me when I was a little boy, like on my birthday. He'd send me a birthday card with $5 in it or something. And then that's it. It just stopped all the communication, everything. Will, I pray the day comes in your life that you can find out what happened to your brother. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. But it built up an entire Rolodex of, an old school Rolodex. I'm talking old school with numbers and phone numbers on it. And over the years, we kept updating it, adding emails and job descriptions to it, to each and every card. Some of them are, there's like 3 or 4 cards that are all paper clipped together on the Rolodex. But we know people all over this, this planet. We started, when MySpace came out in messaging boards, then we started searching online that way. I'd love to, to think that he's alive. So my brother would be 17, almost 18 years older than me. So that would put him right in almost 70. I don't know. I mean, Francie, to answer your question, though, do we think my brother's deceased at this point? He would be in. I do the stupid math while I try it in my head. No, he would almost be 70. He'd almost be 70, right in there. Do we think he's deceased? Don't know. I know, for a large aspect of it, I had two older sisters. I only have one left now. One has since passed. But my oldest sister, who would be a couple years younger than him, she doesn't think he's alive. But then again, she gave up searching for him a long time ago. My two younger sisters, underneath me in age, they think he's out there somewhere. I haven't given up hope. No math on the weekends, Robin says. Rolodex are like roll down windows. When talking about them, you have to do the hand motion. You do. You do. You're absolutely right. I didn't even think about that, Robin. I tried to explain this to my daughter, what this thing was called, because it's in a clam thing that closes over the top of it. And I'm just trying to explain to her what it is. And she looked right at me, Robin, and said, Dad, why would you write things on a piece of paper like that? Why don't you just look them up on the internet? And I looked at her and I go, oh, sweetheart, I'm older than Google. She's like, what? I'm like, yeah. When I was younger, nobody had computers. Nobody had a computer in their home. I was in middle school when the high school had gotten some kind of grant to buy one computer for like 6,000 students in that went to the elementary, high school, middle school. One computer. It was a Franklin computer. It was a 286. Yeah, you had to take a test to use that computer to prove that you were proficient to know it, and you got an actual license that was laminated with your picture on it and your name that showed that you were proficient at the computer and knew what you're doing, so you wouldn't break that one computer. I had one. Pen and paper. Everything I do is still on pen and paper. I've got notebooks like there is no tomorrow. I write notes on everything. Sticky notes that are all around the entire monitor here. Okay, Mass Rupel, that because it's your birthday and you're British. I remember those days, LOL, same age. In my eyes, being at my age, everything must be backed up on paper and pen. Oh, paper and pen. And then I not only do I write things down, but then I actually take dictation into a little micro like tape. Well, actual real tape, not a hard drive, but I actually have the little cassette recorder that I back everything else up onto. Excuse me. I remember when they first got computers, MPD, in the police units. What a challenge. Yeah. Broken Justice, good morning. Welcome to the stream. Well, I wonder if your notebooks outnumber mine. I don't know, Francie. Here in my studio, I probably have 6 dozen, but I have one that they're broken down into different categories. All the red ones are on just trivia. Red notebooks, trivia, and trivia questions for the trivia show that I do on Sundays. And then I have ones that are just notes when it comes to cases that I'm researching or I'm working on. I have some notebooks, like 3 or 4 notebooks that are filled, every single page is filled in it just on a case that I'm researching. And then I have to take all those notes and I put them into some kind of format that makes sense before I actually do a video. Then I put them on the teleprompter, and then I'll shoot the video. It might be a 25-minute video, and I only use like 6 minutes of it, of the actual video footage. But I'm sure that they're out there. I make a lot of notes on everything. Then I have other ones. Green is just on analytics and search engine optimization. Notes that where I'm testing different search engine queries, and search and discovery. I'll do 30 days of this and 30 days of that to see how it works. That are full with cases. Same here. Broken Justice. Will, it's me, Pippadot, about the crazy notebooks. You have 4 on Gacy alone? Who? Gacy is, unlike most serial killers, and I'm sure you'll agree to this, Gacy was unlike a lot of the people who we know and have been caught and convicted of the crimes of a murder, serial killers. Gacy is a whole nother different ballpark. People could do an entire career on just Gacy. Three notebooks on true crime trivia we've all done. Good morning, S. Singleton. Wow, that's hilarious. I'm 69, but I don't remember having to be licensed for a computer. First one I had was in the late 80s for a commercial insurance job. They were huge back then. Great memories. The school that had that one computer, they had the 286. Then they went to the 486. And then I think it was like the 686 and then they bought a whole bank of Apple computers. I can't remember what number somebody would have to be a fan of Wozniak to know which ones they were. But I mean, they were slow. We didn't have Windows. We had the DOS prompt. You typed in catalog to find anything on the computer or on the disk. One second. Let's see. What do we have on the disc? Here. We have on this disc is the game Sherlock, Drug Lord, and Melbourne. That's what's on that disc. That is a 500 KB. This one, midterms, this is when I was in college. Midterms. This one is just labeled backup. I have no idea what the heck's on that one. Wang diskette. This one just says files. Backup. And md.terms.wps newspaper articles. This is newspaper articles that we saved when we were searching for my brother. But this one is just over there on the shelf. I'm sure I've got a lot more of them around here somewhere. I don't have a computer where you could actually put them in, actually play them. but I have them still. Technology is advanced, at hyper clips. The new computer that I have here that I use for these live streams and for this channel, I have two towers here. One is just for the YouTube, and this tower has no drives on it. There's no CD-ROM drive. There's nothing on it. Everything's done by memory stick or download. Sweet. Will, did you make breakfast? No, not yet, Francie. Not yet. I'll have breakfast afterwards. Tim's in town, and I think they're all still asleep. He'll get up probably here shortly, or if he's not already. You found a disk the other day while cleaning up on how to install Windows 98. I have downstairs in my basement in my old studio that I had. That when I first started, when we moved into this house where I was filming at. I have a box. It's unopened box. The Windows 98 that's still shrink wrapped in the box, and then I have a tutorial one that is how to use. It just teaches you how to use Windows 98. I don't know why I have them. They've just been sitting on the shelf for years and years and years and years. Brought us South Africa barbecue. You heard something the other day that Brian Laundrie could possibly be a serial killer. I doubt that. I think people are giving him way too much credit, Connie. Way too much credit. He is just a scared little man. The only person that Brian Laundrie could possibly hurt was a sweet little young woman like Gabby. That was the only person that man's ever going to hurt. He's too weak. He's not emotionally strong, and he doesn't have the fortitude to go out there and hurt anybody else that's a complete stranger. He only destroys those who are close to him. Said the same thing. I have another video that I'm in the process of editing. I had to cut it down. And originally it was like 26 minutes, 27 minutes. Trying to cut it down to about 10 minutes because people drop off. So a lot of YouTube is short attention span theater. Can you give me the entire case in under 60 seconds from beginning to end? I want to know what the person did. I want to know how they were hunted down and caught. I want to see them convicted. I want to know that the family's good. And can you tell me that they were, beaten up and died in prison? Can you give me that in 60 seconds? That's the way, a lot of YouTube is. And if anything over 60 seconds, then people just don't want to pay attention anymore. You know how bank accounts have changed so much to where now money is constantly coming out? I need to find the kind that does the opposite, where money is constantly coming back in on a daily. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah. I remember the first savings account I had. I never had to show identification. I had a little passbook, a piece of paper, a little notebook thing you opened up, and you were responsible for keeping your own balances. The bank kept a record of how much money you put into your account, but I used to go into I think it was like First Minnesota Savings or something like that, and it was in Minneapolis, and I'd go into the bank and I would deposit 10 cents, 15 cents, whatever I had, change that I'd earned, recycling pop bottles or something. But I would take that money and I'd put it in my savings account. And I saved it up. classic register. But these weren't like registers, like like a checkbook register. It was a tiny thing. It was about half the size. It had a little tiny, you fold out like little piece of paper, and I deposited the 10 cents or whatever, and add it to the total. I signed it, put my initials next to it, and then the clerk at the bank actually put their initials next to it. But I never showed identification, to actually have the account. I think I just went in with my dad one time and opened the account. I don't know what happened to that account. I mean, obviously, it probably closed it a long time ago, but I just remember that. It was a fond memory, because a 25 cents was a lot of money to a little kid, from a farm. So I had that bank book. My dad was a CPA and then a CFO, heavy pressure to keep those records. Good heavens. I'm glad you enjoy the live stream, Pippadot. I'm going to wrap this up here in about 8 minutes. You delivered catalogs? Man, talk about catalogs. Maybe I'm the only one, but does everybody remember, like, the Montgomery Ward's like wish books and the Sears catalog? They used to come out during the just before the holidays, and sitting down and getting out a pen or paper and writing down what you wanted in the from the catalog. Did anybody remember doing anything like that? Mike, I don't have a picture that is, well, all right. I have pictures of him from the newspaper, because he had won a scholarship through the United States, like naval something or other, it was like a science fair. I have pictures of him from a newspaper, and I have pictures of him from another science like fair or something like that was going on in the community, but I don't have any colored photos. When I say my father kicked him out and basically made him the black sheep of the family, my father destroyed everything that of his existence. Said, he washed his hands of him and said, you're not my son. I don't know who you are. And that was it. That's the kind of family that I come from, though. You don't cross each other, and family is everything. And to my father, whatever religion he joined, it we don't know. We can only guess, because my father would never talk about it. And my dad passed away when I was 10, so it wasn't like I could go up to him and and have an in-depth conversation about how his decisions to not have my brother around in our lives was going to affect me later on as I got older. But I do have some black and white photos, like things from the newspaper. Somewhere we have a copy of it on microfiche as well. Oh yes, the catalog books. J.C. Penney was your favorite, Gayla? J.C. Penney's just about the only one left. I mean, Montgomery Ward's is gone. Sears is gone. I'm sure there are probably some Kmart's left out there somewhere. Microfiche, yeah. But we have we have actual copies on microfiche of the newspaper clippings and different things. He played baseball in high school, and was apparently, from everything we know about him, was extremely talented in science. He was, but we don't know. I could post pictures in the community tab of the pictures of him. Do they still publish TV Guide? Yes, Gala, they do. I collect them, certain ones. I don't buy them every day, but they certainly do still make TV Guide, and they make a TV soap guide. I mean, how many soap operas are left? But they still make it. You taking off, Connie? Well, have a wonderful day, everybody. You too, Connie. Thank you for stopping in this morning. Well, have a wonderful day and stay out of trouble. Oh, I will. I'm not going anywhere. My buddy Tim's in town, and we might, if we're not sure yet, but we might go to play Texas Hold'em tonight with our friends. It all depends on how many people we can get together, but we'll see. I mean, I'm not wherever I go. I'm not walking very far. Farmer's Almanac, like George Costanza's father. My dad got sole custody. We had a falling out not long ago. He disinherited me and just passed from the virus. My family followed suit, sadly. I'm sorry, Robin. Excuse me. I missed the good old days, Will. It's nice reminiscing, though. Thinking about the good old days, the times of the past when things were simpler. There wasn't this hard pressed, media circus that is out there. In a lot of ways, I think that the internet has ruined a lot of people and ruined a lot of people's lives. I mean, I know from just my perspective, I put myself in this position to be on the internet in front of everybody. But I've seen people absolutely freaking destroyed by what's out there. Vicious attacks on people that have taken place. And they did nothing wrong. They did nothing to deserve it. Even the attacks that have happened to me, I didn't deserve it. But with the internet and people sitting on the other side of the keyboard and not caring how that or what they do and how it affects somebody else, it's sad. Now, just imagine if you're a young teenage girl and somebody attacks you like that. They can make a viral story where hundreds of thousands of people see that video making fun of you, and you have to live with that. How do you get rid of it? You can't. Everybody in your community can know of the one, truly embarrassing thing that you've ever done in your life. Thank God I grew up in the era and I made all my really bad mistakes before the internet. Yeah, if Barry or Brian were innocent, they're destroyed. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up here. Thank you, everyone, for stopping in today. Now, again, tomorrow night is the True Crime Trivia is all on music tomorrow night. So I hope that you can all stop in and take part in the trivia for tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And everybody, please take care of each other and remember, you are the only one that can change the circumstances in your life. So just think about that for a minute. Only you. You're in control of your life. Don't let other people control you or what you think or how if you're having a good day or not. But again, thank you, everyone. You all take care. But we love you, Will. You are real. This is me. As goofy and as stupid as I am. This is me. Excuse me.